Welcome, I'm Dr. Melina Roberts, and I'm going to talk about the kidneys. Now, the kidneys, along with the liver, are the body's two major detoxifying organs. So any sort of toxic load that comes into the body, the liver and the kidneys filter them and then help to move them out. And so the liver will move the toxins out through the stools, through the bowels, and the kidneys will move those toxic loads out through the urine. And so these organs play a really important role in terms of helping the body to get rid of what it doesn't need. And what we really want to do is we really want to support the liver and the kidneys. So what I want to go through is I want to go through 4 ways that we can be supporting the kidneys. Now, one major way to help support kidney function is to drink 2 to 3 liters of filtered water per day. Now, the reason you want it to be filtered is because you want to take a lot of those microbes out, you want to take those impurities out, and one of the most important things that you want to be taking out is chlorine, because what chlorine will do in the body is chlorine will kill off a lot of that good, healthy gut flora. So in terms of filtration systems, some of the stuff that you can be using to help filter out that chlorine would be a carbon block filter or reverse osmosis. Those are ideal ways to remove the chlorine and impurities in the water that you're going to be drinking. So drinking lots of water, lots of clean water on a regular basis will help to support the kidneys. It takes a stress off of the kidneys, so the kidneys aren't having to do all the filtration when we drink filtered water. Now, another thing that we can be doing is removing phosphates from our diet. Now, phosphates you're going to find in carbonated beverages, in breads, in flavoring. And what those phosphates do is they actually impair microcirculation. And the way that the kidneys work, they're actually filtering all the fluids in the body. And with that, there's actually a whole bunch of microcirculation that happens within these kidneys. And if we are taking something in that is impairing microcirculation, it's not really supporting those kidneys. So we want to take the phosphates out because the phosphates are actually impairing the microcirculation in the body and specifically in the kidneys as well. Now, another thing that we can be doing to help support kidney function is we can decrease the animal proteins in our diet. Now, I'm not completely anti-animal proteins. I think having smaller amounts of animal protein and cleaner sources of animal protein can still be healthy for the body. And I know that there's definitely a polarized opinion on that. But animal proteins, when they're broken down, can actually cause a big stress on those kidneys. So we want to have small amounts of animal proteins. And I think that, especially in the province that I live in, of Alberta, I think we are a society that really just overconsumes animal proteins. We're having large steaks and large amounts of animal protein. So really you want to be having about the size of the palm of your hand in animal proteins per day. And that's it. And so if we can decrease the load of animal proteins, we can actually help to support proper function of the kidneys. Another thing that we can be doing to help support kidney function is to decrease salt. Now, I think salt is also one of those things that really gets a bad rap. And we do need small amounts of salt in our body. And so adding a little bit of sea salts and Himalayan salts to our meals is not a bad thing. It's just that when processed foods got introduced into our human diets, those processed foods were filled with high amounts of sodium. So when people started to consume high amounts of processed foods, the amount of sodium, the amount of salt that we were taking in really increased. And when that increased, that put a huge amount of stress on the kidneys. So by decreasing the amount of processed foods we're having, to being more mindful of how much salt we're taking in, and just having small amounts of salt in our diet will help to support kidney function. So these are 4 different ways that we can be effectively supporting kidney function. So thank you so much for listening. I encourage you to share this information with your friends, to press the like button, to make a comment below, and until next time, continue to learn, grow, and build health.